Hello and welcome to Ivy Moves. My name is Ivona and today we're having a quick yoga-based practice for upper body strength and balance. So when you're ready, meet me on your mat. Let's start in tabletop, quickly warming up the shoulders and the wrists, spreading all 10 fingers and start making circles as wide as it's comfortable towards one side. Warming into the joints, sending some blood and warmth there, and changing sides. Very actively press into the cushions of the palms, gripping with the fingers, and press into the place between the thumb and the pointy finger, this meaty part. Now let's point the fingers towards the outside and start leaning as far as comfortable as you can towards the left and towards the right without taking the palm off the mat. Coming back to center. Now one palm at a time or both at the same time. You're going to turn the fingers towards you and now you're going to start lifting the palms off the ground and back, stretching to the forearms. Conditioning a little bit more the extension and the flexion into the palms, slowly releasing, coming back to center. And now we're going to do something that's called wrist push-ups. So you're going to find a point on this side of your palm and the fingers are going to stay glued onto the ground. The closer your hands are onto the body, the easier it will be. The further they are, the more weight you're going to carry. And you're going to lift the palm, staying on all fingers, except maybe the thumb lifted, and slowly coming back down. We're going to do between 5 and 7. I think it's going to start burning. If you're really into the energy, you can do 10. And again, try to lean, be heavy onto these palms if that allows it. If it doesn't feel like they're gonna snap, it's a tough exercise. I've been doing it for months. So if it's your first time, really don't force it. Perfect. And let's start. Tabletop, tucking back the toes in and just lifting the knees. I'm gonna stay here for, I don't have a timer. I generally don't work too much with timers. So we're gonna work with breaths starting now. 5 long, slow breaths. Try to keep the knees equal, tailbone tucked, pushing actively, opening the shoulder blades. And now all the weight is going to come into the right hand. You're going to twist into side plank towards the left. The right knee is under us. Try to squeeze the right knee towards the chest and extend it forward, towards the chest and forward, chest, forward, 2 more, forward, chest, forward. Come back to this tabletop version for 5 long breaths before switching the other side. Tuck the tailbone, really maintain the knees as close to the ground as possible. And turning towards the right, extending that bottom top right leg, and with the left extend and fold the knee towards the chest. 2, 3, 4, 5, and coming back into this tabletop before taking a short break. I know we went straight into it. If you need more time to warm up, pause the video and come back to it from the beginning. And down dog. Let's test our balance. Can we let's first send the right leg towards the sky. That's easy. And now we're going to try to balance on the opposite hand. So as the left leg is on the ground, we're going to try to balance on the right hand, maybe coming into the left fingertips and slowly lifting the left hand off the ground. pushing actively into the right hand, active right foot towards the sky. And now again, we're gonna go into the same side plank. Slowly coming forward. Fine, keep the balance. If you fall, come back to it, turning towards the left, extending the right leg, chest, right. Extend, knee to the chest, 5 times in total. And can you come back? I don't know if I can come back. Can you? Come back the same way we were. Down dog, switching sides. Just fix my mat. Cleansing breath. Now, left leg is gonna go towards the sky. And slowly we're gonna start finding the balance into our left hand. And the balance in one side is trickier than the other. It's a golden rule, so don't try not to compare it. And now can we go into that side plank, bending that left knee, sending it towards the chest, slowly shifting the shoulder over the wrist and turning towards the right, knee towards the chest and extend. 1, 2, oh, that's a lot of hip flexor workout. 3, 4, 5. Can you come back the same way we were into the 2-point down dog and release. From here, straight into plank. We're gonna hold for 10 slow breaths. Push actively, tuck the tailbone, squeeze the thighs together like you're holding a block between them. Plank is never getting easier. And now slowly Chaturanga. Can you push yourself back to plank? Can you dip the hips like up dog and coming back to plank? Down dog. Let's do this without holding the actual plank, 5 times. Plank for 1 breath. Chaturanga. Push back to plank. Dip the hips towards the ground. Open the chest. Back to plank. Down dog. 4 more times. No, 3. I'm sorry, 3 times. We already did 2. Plank, Chaturanga, up dog, plank, down dog. 2 more times. I'm burning, guys. I'm doing this with you. And you're motivating me greatly to keep going one last. I know you're shaking, I am too. Whoa. Woo. And down dog. Now let's walk with the feet towards the front of the mat. And how's your crow pose? Can we play a little bit with that? Maybe do some crow taps or tripod handstand. Let's see, spreading the fingers as wide. If crow pose is into your practice, go ahead. If not, try to maybe pile some blocks under you and start lifting one leg and then the other, finding the balance. Place a pillow in front of you so you're not scared to face palm, because the learning process always involves a couple of face palms. And if you have your crow pose, let's go for it. Playtime is optional. I'm gonna go for tripod headstand. If you want, you can stay in crow, play with some crow taps, or jump into Chaturanga. Up to you. If not, join me for crow pose. And slowly dipping the head towards the ground and sending the hips over the shoulders. Slowly extending the legs towards the sky. Counting your breaths. Can you hold for 10? Sending the ribs, the hips, hip points towards the ribs. So engaging that core. Slowly, knees towards the triceps. And coming down the way you can. Taking a moment after headstand, maybe into child's pose. And we're gonna come back into the same sequence, this time involving dolphin. Down dog, plank, chaturanga, plank, up dog, and now the elbows together at the same time into dolphin. 4 more, pushing the hips, extending the hands, plank, chaturanga, up to plank, and only then the up dog, elbows together, dolphin. 3 more. I know, guys, it's quick, effective, burning practice. Take a breather in dolphin, and I promise I'm not gonna say this in other practices. Breather in dolphin, it's hard enough. 2 more. Plank, chaturanga, up dog, squeeze the glutes, dolphin. 1 last. Let's do this. Plank, chaturanga, up dog, dolphin. Let's shimmy with the elbows forward to forearm plank. Now we're gonna shift towards the left side, staying on the right elbow. Maybe extending that left knee or foot towards the sky, staying here. And maybe that left hand is gonna try to touch something under our right hip. Coming back, 5 more. 5 in total, so 4 more. Keep the balance. Imagine that there is a fire under this right hip. So keep pushing it away from the ground. 1 last. And slowly extending the back leg, coming to forearm plank, switching sides. Extending that right leg the way you had it the first time. And the right hand tries to shimmy under the left hip and back. 4 more times, 5 in total. Pushing the hip actively towards the sky. Up, away from the ground. 2 and 1. Perfect. Let's walk into dolphin. Push into down dog. And walk towards the front of the mat, forward fold. Let's play a little bit more with the balance into the core and arm balances. Chair pose, and now we're going to twist actively. This is really gonna work the core. Twisting towards the right, looking behind that right shoulder, coming back to center, twisting towards the left. Keep the knees in one line, coming back to center. Let's do it 3 times in total, which side, before we get dizzy. Or 5 times, let's do 5 times. 3 times is too easy, I'm already done with that. Okay, 2 more on each side, 4 in total. Look as far back as you can. I think I have 1 more each side. Oh, this feels so good for the spine and for the obliques. And coming back to center, I'm gonna shimmy so you see me. You can stay where you are in chair, and let's try to go for side crawl. So we're gonna twist towards the right, squat. The right knee is gonna find the left elbow, spreading the fingers like we did in the warm-up and everything we did until now. And you're going to lean towards that free right hand. Even though the left hand is carrying the weight, just play with it. Again, pillows and blocks are optional to support. And lift the legs, fly, crawl, fly, extending if you can. And slowly coming back, chair, and let's do the other side. Spreading the fingers. Left and right will surely feel different. That's a lot of obliques, that's why we warmed them up now. Lean into that free left hand. I started by, if this is too hard for you to now, I started by placing the hip onto the free hand. So I had this shelf with both elbows. Go for that, it feels really empowering actually if you're still finding the strength into that arm balance. And Maybe after 1 or 2 trials, you can try to lift the hip off. Coming back. Whew, I'm gonna come back to the front side of the mat. Chair pose. And even though we're playing now with upper body, let's not forget that the core, the balance comes from here. So let's lift that right leg towards the chest. Grab the knee or the foot with the left hand and slowly balance towards the left. Look towards the extended hand behind you. And then we're gonna go into a twisted half moon. So there's gonna be a lot of core involvement. Slowly releasing the leg, sending it towards the back. Right hand now finds the ground or a block and twisting towards the left. Can we do that 2 more times? So 3 times in total. And we're taking some weight off the hands onto the legs while we're still working the core. You really don't need crunches and planks to work the core, even though it's sure effective. It brings some warmth and blood and awareness into the core. It's really not the only way to make it work. One last. Press into that left leg. I know it's burning. Knee towards the chest, grabbing the knee or the foot, extending. One last time. Whew. And finding both feet onto the ground. Shake it off. The sun is out. I'm so excited. Let's do the other side. All the weight goes into the right leg. Left knee towards the chest, grabbing the left knee with the right hand or the foot and opening towards the side. Bonus, we get an amazing spine therapy with all these twists. Now slowly releasing, sending the left leg towards the sky. And which hand? Now the left hand, right? This is how we twist, right? Yeah, got confused. So left hand is on the ground. That's right. 2 more times. Slowly push into the right leg. It's definitely my weaker leg. I love you so much. I'm sorry for calling you weak, but it's a fact. Balance on you is definitely more challenging. Or more like demanding leg. Weak is not a good word for everything that this leg does for me. Requires more focus and attention. One last, push into that demanding right leg. Left knee towards the chest, extending towards the side. And one last twisted half moon. And both feet towards the ground. Shake them off. And step into down dog. Almost there, guys. Let's come back into that floating tabletop. Find the alignment, find the balance. And our right leg is gonna donkey kick towards the sky and find the left tricep for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And let's go back into that same side plank option. Fallen triangle, side plank, or grab that right foot and stretch it open. This is so far from me. Fallen triangle. Can you? Okay. From here we're gonna go into Chaturanga with that leg staying as it is. The chest is facing forward, bending the elbows into Chaturanga, up and down dog. We're doing the other side and we're done, I promise. We're gonna start stretching everything that worked. Floating tabletop, balance into the right leg, left leg towards the sky, knee towards the tricep, opposite tricep, twisting. 4, 3, 2, make sure the right knee is not floating too far. 1, side plank towards the side, optional floating, fallen triangle, or grab that foot and try to send it far from the other one. going back to falling triangle. Now both hands are on the ground, chest towards the ground. Chaturanga, one last step forward. Oh, and down dog, knees towards the ground. Oh, guys, we made it. Oh my God, we made it. High five. And now let's start stretching everything that worked. Starting as simple as crossing one hand in front of you, looking towards that shoulder. Stretch the back side of the shoulder. If you have blocks, maybe they can be useful for some of the puppy variations. I currently have none, so we're still gonna be fine. Coming into puppy pose. Optional, if this feels too easy for you, to make the dome with the hands, and of course, is chin or forehead onto the ground. That was a lot of work. Stay with the left hand extended, right hand's gonna find the place under the shoulder, and we're gonna really extend, looking under that left shoulder. Make sure the hips are above the knees, and looking under the right armpit, and changing sides. Looking under, sending the hips back, the hand forward, looking under the right armpit and the left armpit. Now here's when blocks are going to be very useful for you to place the elbows on, or a table or a chair, anything that's going to support them a little bit in the air and allow the chest to fall in between the shoulders. Look down. I'm looking up just to create a little bit more distance. If you also don't have blocks like me, this is a great option. Coming up, almost ready with a stretch. Sitting onto your bum. Okay, option level 1, just sending the chest towards the sky. Fingers are looking towards you. Option 2 is the reverse tabletop. I know I said we're not working anymore, but it's actually really sweet for the rotation of the shoulders. Maybe you can start sending the hips forward towards the heels and really stretch into the shoulder head. And sitting back down. Last stretch, guys. We're almost there. Right hand towards the sky. Tries to find the space between the scapulas. Elbow is going, looking towards the sky. Option 1 is just pulling the elbow away from the shoulder and behind. Option 2, grabbing with the strap or the two hands all together behind the back, sending the elbows away from each other like wings. And enjoying. We really deserve this moment, this stretch. I feel amazing. I hope you're feeling too. Switching sides. One side is gonna be tighter or more open than the other. Respect it as it is. If you're like me with both elbows facing towards the opposite direction, send them away from each other, away from the body. So don't let them look forward, but to the sides. Try not to arch the spine, so tuck the tailbone so you can isolate the movement, the feeling only on the upper body. And release. I think I said it was the last one, but I just feel like doing a quick side body stretch after all these crunching sensations in the obliques, all this work. The opposite side. Try to look up. This really is what stretches the side body. Center. Finding a moment of stillness, just a moment. If you want to take Shavasana, take Shavasana. If not, just stay like that with me for 3 deep breaths. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Releasing all the heat. One last. Thank you so much for joining today, and I'll see you next time.